Hello and welcome to another edition of the Eternal Journey and the Resolves, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Expedition Dragon Control deck, which I think is perhaps one of the better decks we're playing right now. It feels like it's really good against cultists, even though Voprex's choice is kind of a stinker against cultists because it's very rare, unless you've been grinding them out, or been able to get like a complete board with like Malediction, that they're going to have just one thing in play. This is still fine because it is able to fetch you back Karvet the Soul Dragon, which is pretty hard to be honest, or if you really need to, it can fetch you the Nihil Draconis, because a Fell Ritual puts a dragon into Void, which allows you to have a dragon to either draw back with Voprex's choice, or to be able to put into play with Vara the Fate Touched. And you see here, the reason we're playing the Karvet Soul Dragon is for a similar reason to why we play Azindal in some other Vara decks, is because Karvet enters play and it puts a cultist in play, which is also a shadow unit. It's the Xenon unit, so that counts as 2 units of Vara. So you're able to just go from basically having nothing to play Vara, play Karvet, play the other thing off Karvet, and then just fill your board up. And especially if you've got like a Dizo's office in play, the game's just completely unlosable from that point. So because I'm just coming back, I'm just going to do like 3 games with each of these decks that I'm going to be looking at today. But they could be a bit of a long one for this video because it does take a little bit of a while to win. Although sometimes your opponent, when they realise what's going on, they do scoop it up. So we do have some sight hate here as well. So I've got Cremate, which does kill any unit on sight, and it does give it Voidbound. Currently, there's not really any reason to give sights Voidbound. But, I'll take it. It's a little bit extra on top, and I'm happy just to have this Voidbound for units because hitting like a huge Needs Faithful or something along those lines is still pretty hard. We've also got the unblockable attacks from Incarnus, which I think in this form is actually able to kill every legal site just with 1 attack, which is nice. And we've got the Edict of Shavka, which is a bit of a meta card, but it can kill the dragon site in one go because that is also Primal, and because when it says this deals 1 damage from an enemy, it means unit, site, or player. So this can just kill sites that would be sharing these faction types. So it can also kill like Guard of Omens, which, I mean, it's not much of a jump because dealing 1 damage is nearly killing it anyway. We've got like Vara's Favour, but yeah. So let's get onto those games and see what we can do. There's not too much tricky... There are not too many tricky interactions here, but really the difficult thing to learn with this deck is getting influence on target, because we do need triple shadow for Incarnus as soon as possible. And most games you really want to be aggressively going for that double shadow so you can hit Malediction. You also want double Primal for Wisdom, and then with Guard of Omens you need double, which is kind of a hard hit because we've only got like the 12 seats here. We're playing a bunch of basics, but we do have Sea Cancers and Sig Powers as well as the Vara's Favour to hopefully be able to get us there. So let's get onto those games and see what this deck can do. Okay, so here we have it, and yeah, it sounds a bit of a stinker. The influence is something that we really need. Maybe that's something that we could work on with this deck, and this is probably fine. The influence is great. We don't have much to do in the early game, apart from just like fixing our power. So we do have triple shadow, we've got double fire, and we've got double of this. So I think we can fetch literally anything. So do we need quad shadow for anything? Don't think we do. So let's just grab a Fire Sigil for the whole reason that I want to keep Shadow Sigils in there, because we draw them, and we draw like a Vara's Favour later. I just want to be able to get full value off it. So we can just like pretend to be a Feln deck. I've been playing with some Feln decks. Playing both the Invokers and Throne is pretty easy for that. Okay, so we do have a Cremate here. So we can't play it yet. I've not seen Vara in a Legion deck yet, but this could be pretty spooky. I actually wouldn't mind if our opponent just put like a Study Spell Shape on this and just let us just kill this next time. We do need to be mindful that our opponent... Well, they can protect this with the Edict that bounces spells. Ooh, it's a bit spooky. So I guess we... Yep, allow us through. Happy to take 2. If our opponent was to play a spell here to boost our power up, then I would be going for the Cremate. Otherwise, so is our opponent playing the free one? Yeah, that's fine. Guess we'll just go and Cremate this. So I suppose we're not going to be playing the Guard of Omens right now. I just said I don't want to lose it to the free one, but that's another reason why Karvet Soul Dragon is good, because it's able to trade with this. Also, our opponent played a free one and like sacrificed land, and we played a 1/4. Which is top banana. So I am in this instance, because we're kind of close to being able to do it, I think we're going to fetch Dizo's office. I don't mind if we're not able to do it right away, because I think next turn my intention is just play Guardian Omens, which also could be potentially pretty good against this deck because it can kill Ela and Mesos, as well as... uh-oh. Well, actually, I kind of like this, because we get to play a 4-5, and potentially our opponent has to like just jump straight into it. So our opponent is playing Allegiance, so they can have the Spell Shaper to be able to play on this, equivocate this, which would be kind of stinky, but this gets +3/+2, it's still like a free body, so we still get to trade there, even if we play a spell and our opponent isn't able to kill this. Yep, so Spell Shaper it is. Okay, so opponent there is interesting. I think we'll just like double block, that's perfectly fine. We still get like a big body here. Are we still fine with this? I think realistically we just are. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Actually, we're not, because it will give our opponent's unit flying, which would be a bit of a nuisance, actually, won't it? Let's try and hit a spell with this. Yep, Devouring Shadow, that'll do. Devouring Shadow, like, secretly actually good here. Yep, gives our opponent all his abilities, which are not great, because that's a pretty quick clock for us, but we are going to be able to play Dizo's office, hopefully, to be able to give our opponent some other beat down here. The Daring Griffin is just a real beating sometimes. Okay, so we can just try and melt this down. Go for the Spell Shaper, I guess. Doesn't really matter because it doesn't do anything. There was attack here for free. Let's try and get our mastery on. We don't have any Dragons of the Void, sadly, so just Voprex choice our opponent. See what they select here. Being buzzed all over the place. That's Expedition Tournament, cool. Yep, so got to kill our opponent's Armadillo, which is fine because I don't really want our opponent's units to have endurance. We do lose our sight, but then we should be able to play Dizo's office and kill it. But our opponent can still have the Edict, which is able to protect it from that. If our opponent attacks the site as well, I don't believe they get to draw a card, so I'm kind of fine with that. Okay, so I think that the Edict actually costs 3, so they could be fetching some other kind of negate there. But I guess we're gonna, find out we'll find out the hard way. Yeah, so they've got something. It looks like that's what it is. Yeah, they've got an Unseal, which is actually fine. I'm just going to attack here, gain 3 lives. And they'll get pretty close to being able to play this again. I guess we're just playing the cat and mouse game of playing the site, get our opponent to try and kill it. If it plays like Temple Captain, like, what's this? Get out here, Temple Captain. Okay, so our opponent wants the card. Looks like they don't actually care about Dizo's office, which is fine by me, really. Potentially they're just looking for something to do with the Incarnus here. Okay, so we do have the... Let's scheme up. We do have a Cremate, which is kind of an answer to this. I guess we just go for the Merchant because it'll let us fetch Vara soon. So we do have something here. Yep, Wasp isn't quite it. Okay, so I can see what our opponent's doing here. So they're going for the parry. Uncertain if Conflagrate saves us here, but let's find out. Do we want to amplify it and kill something else? Not really. I think it still has the Deadly because of this, but let's find out. Yeah, it does. It does still have Deadly, but we just got to kill that thing and then just like pop this. Yeah, really wants to deal with that. The Ice Elemental getting the weapon. I think we could have navigated that a little better. Okay, so it's going to give something reckless here. I mean, we're going to give it additional power, so that's not the end of the world. Okay, which one did they go for? Oh, just a Deadly Scorpion. It's just like something in their deck. In that case, just gain the maximum amount of lives, I guess. So we can trade this out. And we could get like an Edict Makkar, which can kill like any of this. Maybe we do, because then we get to kill this, and then our opponent has to give us like whatever we want. But I think we could just get, if we're going to get the cheap removal spell, we may as well get the Foul Ritual, because it gives us something to get back later with Vara, or any other, well, Return of Dragon. So Voprex is choice. Vara is something that I want, but we can't currently play her, so I think we will probably not do that. So let us actually kill this. Then we can attack with this and give it Reckless. Which means that we either get to gain 6, or our opponent gives us at least one body. Because it can block with these two, and then we just get to choose which one we want to kill. I'd probably go for the flying units, just because that's a bit of a problem. But this is perfectly, yeah, I'm happy with this. Then if we are able to survive to play Dizo, well, if the Dizo's office is able to survive to play Dizo, just sacrifice this Cultist, which is like another cool thing with having the Soul Dragon in your deck, is that it gives you something to be able to sacrifice the Dizo, so you can play the scheme on your opponent. Yeah, knocking our opponent down to 4 when they've just decimated as well feels pretty potent actually as well. So they are making us work for it. They're not giving us a win easy here. So we'll sacrifice this. And then it's very likely that our opponent here would just, you know, they just give us it. So they just let us have the 7 life. So I do kind of want to attack here first. Yep, that's cool. Happy with that. So then we'll just Cabal Extortion Scheme them. So let's go back to 20. We're both kind of working on nothing. I mean, our opponent's got like some bodies here, but I mean, we can just kill one of these and it makes this a little bit smaller. But the Inspire is really good when you've got the Decimate powers. Yeah, okay, so we can see which ones we've decimated. So it's just the 2 emblems. Yep, happy to be at 20, because we've got like a 2-turn clock if our opponent's not able to deal with this. I feel like our opponent just having 1 card in hand, that I'm kind of okay to hang fire on the Cremate here. Opponent does get to kill a site, which means that site gain does even more lives. Yep, that's kind of the plan anyway, so I'm okay with this. Let's just kill this now while we can. I feel like it impacts the board a little bit more than just the 2 1-3s. They do have an effect. Okay, well I feel foolish now. Let's keep the Vara's Favour because it can pop a Daring Griffin if we need to, but I think that... Yeah, we'll just kill this with White too. Yeah, our opponent's dead on the next swing, which is... Yeah, nice. So the scheme really played off there, where we were able to just drain our opponent for another... Okay, so we've got no fire sources, which are kind of important, so I guess we just redraw this. And yes, it's kind of a stinker, so similar problem to the last hand, but we do have the ability to go and fetch a Fel Insignia with the merchant if we really need to. That's not the ideal case for our merchants, but we do have 8, so if we do get in like a stinker situation like that, it's kind of fine, because we can just use the next one if we flood to be able to trade that additional power in the future for, you know, a real card. Okay, so we could very well play against Cultist, so I'm not going to play this Vara's Favour quite yet, because there are a lot of Cultists that we can actually kill with this. We can use this just as an actual spell. Like this, you know, Last Speaker here is just going to get booped. Right up nose. Okay, so that's an interesting build. Our opponent's got a Sacred Seal. I can also Conflagrate this, but don't need to. let's get rid of this while we can. So we can Malediction. It's probably going to be good against this deck. Uncertain what version our opponent's playing, if they're playing like a lot of weird cards here. Okay, so if the Genju doesn't get too big, okay, so it's just a 3/3. Okay, our opponent's letting us get 3 for 1, so we're just going to. So let's just go for Malediction. This is why Malediction's good. It's a harsh rule on turn 4 a lot of the time. And when it's not, it's still kind of fine. So one thing we do need to be wary of is that our opponent could be like aggressively going up in life to be able to get Nahid out. Nahid is going to be a bit of a nuisance for us. So here, we can't actually play this Wisdom Elders. So let's go to this. We've got the Smuggler here to be able to get back if we really need to. I guess we could have played just like the Fire Sigil down if we wanted to just like keep Conflagrate up, but I think we're kind of fine. Okay, so we're immortalizing here. Okay, getting the big Genju. No Decimate, I believe, so just 3/3, nothing to worry about. So this would have been a good reason to have like the Conflagrate stay out, but I'm fine with this. Let's just get rid of this. Stop that. That's nonsense. You're not allowed. Because get Vara or Dizo's office, I guess we'll just attack. Just try and keep our opponent's life total down a little bit. So I do want to get Dizo's office, but I also want to be able to play it. Our opponent does have a way to be able to kill Dizo's office. Okay, our opponent's obviously figured out that we're trying to figure out some sort of powerful thing to do, and they've not got much going on, so they conceded. Not the ideal outcome for a game, especially not when you're recording, but yeah, opponent's got like better things to do. Okay, so on the draw, really like the influence. We've got triple shadow. We can get double fire if we want, but we're probably just going to get the second primal to be able to slam this Wisdom of the Elders. And run the draw as well, so you know, never not lucky. And our opponent's going down a card. Extremely never not lucky. Okay, so Legion again. Is a bit of a spooky match, I'll be honest with you. So we are going to play Seat of Chaos here, and we're going to fetch a Primal Sigil. Because if we draw a Conflagrate next turn, we'll be able to kill this by just playing the Shadow Sigil. If we'd played Seat of Cunning, there's literally no way we could kill this with that. Like, as a line. Oh, come on, Vara's Favour. Cremate will do. Okay, so now we kind of need to play Seat of Cunning. It does mean we take an additional point of damage, but it means that we are on curve to be able to play our Wisdom of the Elders. Opponent is playing power. Yeah, get more damage in. Okay, so I think now I guess maybe just to draw the cards. We do take a bunch this turn. Yeah, if our opponent's got a power, which they do, we take a bunch. Let's take 8. But let's no blocks it. So that was kind of a spooky time to play, because if we'd have whiffed that and our opponent played like the Daring Griffin, then we'd have been pretty dead. Okay, so Malediction is not doing a great deal here. So I'm going to play here, and I'm going to boop away. Even though we would like the second fire source, we kind of need it. I guess we just boop the Seat of Cunning and go and fetch an Edict. We just get the Edict is because we want to kill the Overwhelm unit. Because I can just chump this if I really need to. I feel like it's a good chance that our opponent just goes and gets the Soddy Spell Shaper, bounces our thing, gets in, draws a card, in which case we're able to get a fire source, and then just cremate their unit. Just for 4? Yeah, just for 3, that's fine. So let's go and fetch our fire source. So there's no fast spell there. So we can just cremate this. I'm fine with that. And then hopefully next turn we'll start taking over by playing our Solar Dragon. So I don't think that Sakalis is in this format. So I could be surprised here. So another thing with this format is that I don't know what every single card that's in it. So I've just been playing on mobile for like the past 2-3 weeks. It's kind of difficult to see what cards are actually legal. Oh. Opponents deliberately got seated progress in the deck, so they've got Justice now for some reason. I mean, I guess the game's kind of over because we've got like the big dragon in play, but yeah, unfortunately we weren't able to get like a satisfying conclusion there. Okay, so there you have it. It was the Expedition Dragon Control deck, and as you can see, people just concede to it, which is cool. It saves you a lot of time, but it's really unsatisfying because you didn't get to see any of the really cool things that you can do. Like just Dizo's office popping off whilst you've got Vara in play, sacrificing a thing, Dizo entering play, you returning that thing back to play. It's just some really cool things you can do with Vara. Also, I really like Vara being in the market here because there's literally no removal in this farm whatsoever that most decks are playing. So there's like 4 removal spells in a deck, and you just get to play Vara. And if they played them early in the game, then they've just not got anything left for Vara, and she gets to take over the game. We didn't really get to see it, but hopefully next week, when I'm not trying to catch up on just like not doing any content for a month, we'll be able to do a couple more games with decks that are playing around with Vara, because all the original signs are legal in this format, I believe. So, fortunately, the new signs are, because new Vara and new Svetcha would be a Stone Cold no thank you if they were legal. So, that's cool. I could see swapping out Guardian of Omens for the other site, which is the Dragon site. It does make the influence a little bit easier, but then it just gives you like a real glut of 6 costs, because I'm going to have like the Karvets and the sites. Although that site is pretty busted, we probably would need to change the market a little bit, probably remove Vara, because when you pop the top 10 like power cards from the top of your deck into the void, you would never hit a power drop for the rest of the game. So having like an 8 in there is super speculative. I mean, like a 7 is fine because you can get from 6 to 7, but trying to get up to 8 is, yeah, it's not happening. So anyway, thanks for watching. I've been That Resolves, and I'll see you around.